B. McKissick Jr., a commissioner on the North Carolina Utilities Commission, and I will be presiding over this hearing. With me this morning is Commissioner William Brawley. Commissioner Jeffrey A. Hughes will be read in as a member on this panel with the prior consent of the parties. I now call for hearing docket number W-1318 sub 2 in the matter of application by H Water LLC for a certificate of public convenience and necessity to provide sewer utility service to High Hampton Resort Core and other subdivisions in Jackson County, North Carolina, and for approval of rates. Before we proceed, and as required by the State Government Ethics Act, I remind members of the Commission of our duty to avoid conflicts of interest and inquire at this time as to whether any commissioner has a known conflict of interest with respect to this docket. Let the record reflect that no such conflicts were identified. On June 30th, 2023, North Carolina Section Law 2023-67, entitled an act to expedite transfer of water or wastewater public utilities act, was signed into law by Governor Roy Cooper. Having been previously ratified by the North Carolina General Assembly, the act provides timelines for the Commission's consideration of applications for transfer of certificates of public convenience and necessity, commonly known as CPCNs, for certain water and wastewater systems. Section 1. Subsection A of the Act applies to applications for grant or transfer of CPCNs for water and wastewater systems filed after June 30th, 2023. Among other things, this section requires the Commission to provide notice within 30 days of the filing of a completed application, whether the application is complete. On January 26, 2024, H Water LLC filed with the Commission an application for a CPCN and approval of rates for property in and around Cashiers in Jackson County with confidential attachments. On February 8th, 2024, the public staff filed a letter notifying the Commission that the application was incomplete. On February 8th, 2024, the Commission issued an order finding the application incomplete and requesting additional information. On April 30th, 2024, H Water LLC filed supplemental exhibits to address the issues identified in the public staff's February 8th, 2024 letter. On May 6, 2024, the public staff filed a letter with the Commission indicating that this docket now includes all the information required for a complete application. On May 8, 2024, the Commission issued an order finding application complete and requiring the public staff to provide specific application data. On May 15, 2024, the public staff provided information requested in the Commission's May 8, 2024 order. On June 27, 2024, the Commission issued an order scheduling hearings, establishing discovery guidelines, and requiring customer notice. On July 26, 2024, H Water LLC filed its proposed notice to customers, which was approved by Commission order on July 31, 2024. On August 1st, 2024, H Water LLC filed a letter regarding the notice to customers, which requested a limited pause in the proceeding, allowing the parties until August 14th, 2024 to submit a revised notice to customers. On August 14th, 2024, H Water LLC filed another letter notifying the Commission that the service area included in H Water's original application should be changed, requiring H Water submit an amendment to its application, which would alter the notice to customers previously approved by the Commission. H Water requested that the requirement for mailing a notice to customer be placed on hold pending the filing of an amended application and revised notice to customers. H Water also requested that the public witness hearing be rescheduled due to a conflict with H Water's counsel. On August 30th, 2024, the Commission issued an order finding application incomplete, canceling hearings, canceling discovery guidelines, and requesting additional information. Also, on August 30th, 2024, H Water filed an amended application and exhibits. On September 3rd, 2024, the Commission issued an order requiring the public staff to file a notice regarding whether the application is considered complete, and if incomplete, identifying any deficiencies in the application. On On September 13th, 2024, the public staff filed a letter with the commission indicating that this docket now included all the information required for a complete application. On September 17th, 2024, the commission issued an order finding application complete and requiring the public staff to provide specific application data. On September 19th, 2024, the public staff provided information requested in the commission's September 17th, 2024 order. On October 2nd, 2024, H.H. Water LLC filed the direct testimony of Oren Schultz consisting of 7 pages. On October 24th, 2024, H.H. Water LLC filed its proposed notice to customers, which was approved by Commission Water on October 29th, 2024. On October 25th, 2024, the Commission issued an order scheduling hearings, establishing discovery guidelines, and requiring customer notice. On November 20th, 2024, H.H. Water LLC filed a request to issue a revised customer notice. On November 22nd, 2024, the Commission issued an order approving the amended customer notice. On December 11th, 2024, the public staff filed a motion and proposed order to cancel the public witness hearing scheduled for December 17th, 2024, based upon a lack of significant protests, with the commission granted on December 11th, 2024. On January 6, 2025, the public staff filed a motion requesting an extension of time to file testimony. On January 7, 2025, the commission issued an order granting the extension of time to file the direct and rebuttal testimony. On January 7, 2025, H. Water LLC filed an amended application. On January 13, 2025, the public staff filed the direct testimony and exhibits Sasha Mbata, consisting of 35 pages, 1 appendix, and 6 exhibits, and the direct testimony and exhibit of Vivian Fang, consisting of 11 pages, 1 appendix, and 1 exhibit, and the public staff notice and affidavit of Patrick A. Fahey. On January 31st, 2025, H.H. Water filed the joint rebuttal testimony and exhibit of P. Dean and Perry Consulting, LLC, Owen Schultz and Robert Bergen, consisting of 45 pages and 1 exhibit. On February 10th, 2025, the parties filed a list of witnesses and the order in which they will be presented in the expert witness hearing, which was scheduled for today. On February 11, 2025, H.H. Water LLC filed a corrected rebuttal Exhibit 1. On February 14, 2025, the public staff filed a motion to excuse witness Fahey from appearing at the expert witness hearing and requesting that the pre-filed notice and affidavit of witness Fahey be entered into the record as if hearing orally from the stand and admitted into evidence. This motion was granted by the commission order issued on February 17, 2025. On February 17, 2025, the parties filed a settlement agreement and stipulation with 3 settlement exhibits resolving all contested issues in this docket. The stipulation consists of 10 pages and the settlement exhibits consist of 21 pages. As a result, the commission issued an order rescheduling the hearing for Tuesday, February 18th at 11 a.m. The intervention and participation of the public staff in this proceeding is recognized pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 62-15, subsection D, and Commission Rule R1, subsection 19, subsection E. That brings us to today. Okay, let us begin. I'll now call upon counsel for the parties to announce their appearances, beginning with the applicant.
May it please the commission, my name is Edward Finley, Raleigh, North Carolina, appearing on behalf of the applicant H.H. Water.
Good morning, Attorney James Bernier Jr., attorney with the public staff on behalf of the using and consuming public.
Excellent. Let me thank you all for being here. We certainly had a significant procedural history relating to this case, and we got in the settlement testimony just this morning about 10 or 15 minutes ago. So with that in mind, I will first ask if there are any preliminary matters that we need to address.
No preliminary matters. We're prepared in accordance with whatever the chair wishes to introduce the various pieces of evidence on behalf of the company and the application and so forth and proceed.
I would say it's an appropriate time to go ahead and proceed at this time.
May it please the commission, then applicant moves to submit into evidence its application of January 26, 2024, its amended application of August 30, 2024, its second amended application of January 7, 2025, the direct pre-file testimony of Owen Schultz, filed on October 2, 2024, consisting of 7 pages, the rebuttal testimony of Peden and Perry Consultants, Owen Schultz and Robert Bergen, submitted on January 31, 2025, that the corrected application Exhibit 1, corrected Exhibit 1 of the rebuttal testimony be marked for identification as so marked and admitted into evidence at that time.
All right. Without objection, we will admit the application for CPCN filed on January 26, 2024, as well as the amended application filed on August 30th, 2024. The amended application submitted on January 7th, 2025. The testimony of Orange Schultz filed on October 2nd, 2024, consisting of 7 pages, as well as the rebuttal testimony submitted by Owen Schultz, Rob Bergen, Julie Perry, and Darlene Peden, and the corrected rebuttal Exhibit 1. The rebuttal testimony being filed on January 31st, 2025, consisting of 45 pages and 1 exhibit. And of course, the corrected rebuttal exhibit filed on February 11th, 2025.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hear from the public staff.
Yes, good morning. Public staff would like to go ahead and call Sashi M. Bata and Vivian Fong as a panel to testify.
Please come forward. He didn't move. We'll get him into the, yeah. Could you put your left hand on the Bible and raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. Ms. Bata, please state your full name, position, and business address for the record.
My name is Sashi M. Bata. I'm a public utilities engineer with the Water, Sewer, Transportation, and Telephone Division. My work address is 430 North Salisbury Street, Raleigh, North Carolina.
And Ms. Bata, on January 13th, 2025, did you pre-file testimony consisting of 35 pages in question and answer format with an Appendix A and 6 exhibits?
Yes, I did.
And on February 17th, 2025, did you pre-file joint settlement February 18th today, 2025, did you pre-file joint settlement testimony consisting of 8 pages in question and answer format in support of a settlement agreement and stipulation with exhibits that were filed February 17th?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any changes or corrections to your pre-filed joint settlement testimony?
I do not.
Any changes to the settlement agreement or the exhibits to the settlement agreement?
No.
And if I were to ask you the same questions in your testimony, your joint settlement testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Fong, please state your full name for the record along with your position and address, please.
My name is Vivian Fong. I'm a public utility regulatory analyst with the County Division of the Public Staff. My business address is 430 North Salisbury Street, Raleigh, North Carolina.
And Ms. Fong, on January 13th, 2025, did you pre-file testimony consisting of 11 pages in question and answer format with Appendix A and 1 exhibit?
Yes, I did.
And on February 18th, that's today, Did you pre-file joint testimony with Ms. Bata consisting of 8 pages in question and answer format in support of a settlement agreement and stipulation and exhibits?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any changes or corrections to the joint settlement testimony, the settlement agreement, or the exhibits?
No, I don't.
And if I were to ask you the same questions in your joint settlement testimony today, would your answers be the same?
Yes.
Now, before we proceed, can you guys provide a summary of the joint settlement testimony since it was just filed less than an hour ago?
So the stipulating parties agreed amount was including the removal of $157,127, which represents 50% of the overhead and profit described in the testimony of public staff witness Bata and planned service into service at the end of 2024. Additionally, the stipulating party have agreed to the utilization of the planned categories and the service lives for depreciation expense set forth in Settlement Exhibit 2. The stipulating party also have agreed to a total rate case expense of $143,522. The amount represent the final amount for rate case expense, and any remaining costs will not be included for recovery from ratepayers in future rate case or other recovery proceedings, regardless of any additional expenses. The expenses will be normalized over a 3-year period with no return on any amortized balance.
Ms. Bata, anything that you'd like to add in summary?
Stipulating parties have also agreed to utilize the 280 residential equivalent units REUs for calculating the CIAC and the rates for the customers. I think that's all I would like to add for now.
All right, thank you. Commissioner McKissick, I move that the pre-filed testimony exhibits of Ms. Bata, the pre-filed testimony exhibits of Ms. Fong, the joint settlement, their joint settlement testimony, yes, be copied into the record as I've given orally from the stand, and the exhibits attached to their testimony be identified as marked when filed.
Okay. Without objection, we will admit into the record the direct testimony of Vivian Fang filed on January 13th, 2025, consisting of 11 pages, 1 appendix and 1 exhibit, as well as the direct testimony of Sasha Bata, filed on January 13th, 2025, consisting of 35 pages, 1 appendix, and 6 exhibits. The joint settlement testimony of Fang and Bata, filed on February 18th, 2025, consisting of 8 pages, all of which will be submitted into the record at this time.
Thank you, Commissioner. The panel is available for questions from the commission.
Okay. We do have just a couple of questions that you can provide some clarity on. And this would go to witness Bata. On page 6, lines 10 through 11 of your testimony, you state that all the wastewater from TWSA's customers will be treated at HH Water's new wastewater treatment plant once the wastewater treatment plant is active. Now, by that, do you mean that all of High Hampton's service area's customers currently being served by TWSA are all of TWSA's current customers?
That is correct, sir. That is a minor edit mistake that was made on there, but it is the current customers. The wastewater flow is going into from High Hampton service area is going into Togasigi. So all those customers are going to be connected to High Hampton's own HH Water's wastewater treatment plant and for treatment and continued treatment.
Okay. And in the settlement agreement, page 4, the stipulating parties agree that Cashier's Marketplace should be included and granted a CPCN. But when reviewing Settlement Exhibit 3, which outlines the expected growth for all service areas through December 31st, 2025, it appears that the REUs for Cashier's Marketplace were not included in the settlement rate calculations. Could you provide the estimated timeframe for Cashier's Market to go live and the monthly rate it will charge?
So we have an understanding of the number of REUs that would be required. Well, this development will have based on the design flow, which is 181 REUs. When we filed my testimony, the projected growth we had considered into the REUs calculations to distribute the rate base was based on the projected customers until the end of 2025 that would become in service by end of 2025. We had not considered the Cashier's Marketplace into those calculations because the Cashier's Marketplace is still going through the review and approval process from different regulating agencies. As I understand it, they might start construction maybe end of this year, but Marketplace is not going to be in service until 2025, 2026 or 2027.
And when you refer to it pending in the process, I gather it was an amended application that went to Jackson County.
That is correct, because the wastewater system at High Hampton service area, the newly constructed wastewater system is permitted under the engineered option permit, which gets reviewed and oversight by Jackson County Health Department. And engineer Mr. Robert Bergen had just submitted the, I'm going to call it a EOP, engineered option permit, to include the Cashier's Marketplace into the permit to connect it to the wastewater plant that has been constructed.
And I guess they are subject to rules promulgated by the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services.
That is correct, sir. That is the
Appropriate
18E
Okay.
rules.
I just wanted to clarify those things for the record.
Yes.
Thank you. And perhaps you can address this question as well. In section H.2 of the stipulation, can you explain if the paperwork for Creekside Cottages and Cashier's Marketplace already exist?
Creekside Cottages and Cashier's Marketplace?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's referred to in section H.2 of the stipulation. And of course, it may be that that's among the documents which are specified in that section as documents that will be submitted after today.
Okay, so there, we have received the copies of, I'm gonna call it a flow request, connection request, from HH Water to serve these facilities. And these Cashier's Marketplace and Creekside has the ownership of the service area is owned by the parent, HH Water's parent company, High Hampton, and plus some other entities involved, but the Cashier's Marketplace is a completely new ownership. So other than the EOP permit being revised for the Cashier's Marketplace and also the Creekside subdivision, we do not have the copies of the agreements in terms of who exactly is going to install all the infrastructure that's needed to serve those areas. So we have put it in the stipulation that those development agreements should be filed
Okay.
when they're ready.
Thank you. And of course, under the stipulation of settlement, section H, if you go down to number 2, it states HH Water agrees to file confidentially as needed with the commission the following for Creekside Cottages and Cashier's Marketplace prior to submission of the joint proposed order in this proceeding. There's a colon, and then it goes through a number of documents. First, under subsection I, being a copy of purchase agreements, asset transfer agreements, or contract showing HH Water's ownership or control of the sewer systems, including sites for lift stations, wastewater treatment plants, and disposal areas. Subsection 2, a copy of contracts or agreements, including all attachments, exhibits, and appendices between HH Water and any other party, including, not limited to, land developers, customers, et cetera, regarding the proposed utility services, including contracts regarding tap fees, construction costs, easements, and right-of-ways, if there are any, and if there are not any, they'll identify none. Or, under number 3, an affidavit describing the terms as described in subsections I and 2 above for development, ownership of utility infrastructure. Now, is it your understanding that those are documents that will be subsequently provided?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Let me see if Commissioner Brawley has any questions at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, or I guess I should say, well,
You're fine,
yeah,
my friend.
Senator. Ms. Bada, there's a rate case expense, $143,522.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering, what was the number the company asked for? And did it include an estimate of expenses that will be incurred after this hearing concludes today?
So the $143,000, hold on a second, let me get the exact number. 43522, that is based on the invoices that have been reviewed and audited as of February 14th, 2025. There will be some additional small amounts to be, the invoices to be submitted and reviewed before that's incorporated into the total rate case expense.
Okay, so the number that we're coming back to should be fairly close to the actual expenditures for the rate case.
That's correct, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, are there any questions on commissioner questions?
No questions.
Just a couple of clarifying questions, if I may.
Sure.
When cashiers eventually comes online, the rate per REU that will be charged will be $136.41 per REU, correct?
That is correct, based on our settlement rate calculations.
And HH Water will be authorized to charge a tap-on fee of $4,500 per REU.
That is correct.
Commissioner Wolfat, 1 minute.
Sure.
No further questions, thank you.
Okay. In that event, I want to make sure that we have basically admitted all testimony into the record. I see here, of course, there was testimony, pre-filed testimony submitted by Patrick Fahey, which was an affidavit consisted of 2 pages filed on January 13th, 2025. I know we had an order previously excusing him. I'm not sure whether that order included excluding into the record, admitting in the record his pre-filed testimony. But if not, we'll entertain a motion to that effect at this time.
I thought it did, but I do make that motion to include.
Okay, yeah,
his
out of
affidavit.
caution, I'd rather make sure we have that covered. And of course, I think we've pretty much covered everything for today. I'm going to look to counsel for the applicant to see if there's anything further.
Is there anything further we need to? Nothing from the applicant.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Commissioner, if I may. If I
Sure.
have the indulgence of asking one other question.
go right ahead.
Ms. Ms. Bata and Ms. Fong, I just wanted to clarify on the rate case expense. The number that's in the settlement agreement is capped. That is the number, and the agreement is nothing higher than that. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That is correct, yes.
And that number that's in the settlement agreement will be subject to audit so that HH Water can submit additional invoices that will be audited to justify the 143,000 or whatever the actual number is.
Yes.
That's correct.
Thank you. No further questions.
Okay, if there are no further questions, what we're going to do is leave the record in this case open for the submission of the documents identified on page 8 of the settlement testimony, which included the documents which were referred to earlier and which I raised some questions about. I think we've covered everything else that needs to be covered today. I would propose that orders in any briefs, and since we have a settlement, I don't think there will be any, will be filed within 30 days of the availability of transcript, if that's acceptable. Are there any other matters that we need to address today before we adjourn? Let me look to counsel, both counsel, to see.
Mr. Chairman, I think the assumption is that the parties will get together and submit a joint proposed order for the commission's consideration. I hope we can get that quickly. I don't really think that we need a transcript, to tell you the truth, because there's not been anything of controversy that has been spoken here. So if that pleases the chair, that's the plan that we will try to follow to get you a proposed order as quickly as we can.
That would be excellent, Mr. Finley. I think that if we could,
If I will add, he is correct that we will begin drafting it, but I would like to have the 30 days from the return of the transcript due to scheduling issues.
we will allow the traditional 30 days from the transcript, knowing that we will aspirationally hope that you all can get together and come up with a joint proposed order in a time frame that's less than what you were permitted and allowed.
That is correct. That is the goal, to submit it as soon as possible, but scheduling one to make sure we have that extra buffer. Thank you.
Excellent. Are there any other matters or issues that we need to address before we adjourn?
Not from the applicant.
Not from the public staff. Thank you.
That being the case, we hereby stand adjourned. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.